Hey guys, and today, we are doing something a little bit completely different. So, fully onto the matter on this, the reason why I'm making this video is because there are certain power systems that I really badly want to do. So, because of that, I actually was like, hey, you know what? I have been thinking about power systems so much lately. What about if I share with you guys the power systems that I'm thinking about doing and things that I'm definitely going to be doing? Let's get into it. First one is Max Steel. And as you guys know, some power systems I do have a certain way I'm going to be making them or doing them in a certain way to make it a little bit more official, to make it more cooler, or to basically for then it can feel like a little bit more of me in this. So for this one, I will be using, yes, different forms of Max Steel's transformations, because even though he is the same person, they are different forms of powers and abilities, completely not in one with that. Saying, saying that, there will be a little bit of a difference. I will not be using every transformation. I will not be using the one-off transformations, the abilities that only have one set of powers. I will not be doing those. Some of them I will be doing, but it will be just because I think they're either really cool, I think they are fucking awesome, or I think they are so unique to the point I want to do it. But also, if some of them are part of a fusion transformations, I will not be doing them. Also, I couldn't get any pictures or screenshots of when his dad was showing his old transformations, but I will also be doing those transformations as well. Those are unique in their own set of ways, and so because of that, I will be doing those completely. I think it's gonna be really fun. But I will say this, there are probably like one or two that are going to be removed. One of them most definitely because it is just based off of his flight. And again, I do have flying superheroes, but I'm not going to pick it if it's not fused with anything else. But if it's any one of the cooler powers, yes. And for anyone who is wondering, even though I do have some characters that are able to go giant, I will still be grabbing Turbo, what was it called? Turbo Titan. Yeah, I will still be using Turbo Titan, but again, I will be using the fusion transformations. Basically this one. And I remember this one. This one, if I remember completely, this is I believe it's Spike and Cannon. Obviously this one looks a lot different. I may use this design more than the original design actually. But yeah, this is Spike and Cannon, I do believe. Next one up is the Flex Fighters. The Flex Fighters is morely because I love this show. I wish they did another season. I wish they continued it. I really did. This was like one of the best superhero shows coming out, I believe, in 2024. And or was it 2022? Or I don't know. Either way, it was during COVID, and this was still one of the best shows coming out during COVID, and it didn't work out, didn't pan out. They have no intentions to bring back the show. I am freaking frustrated because of that. Because it was so good and they left us on a cliffhanger, and I'm thinking about using this. I really am thinking about it, and if I do, everyone will have their usual titles, villains, and heroes. Again, I just add on. You guys know my power system rules. The only thing that puts them in my universe is that I add another power to them. So I will be using the heroes, what is not that many, and also it has a shitload of villains, so it allows me to make more villains for my universe as well. Oh yeah, obviously I should show this one for the Max Steel one, and that is that These Max Steel transformations, obviously there are some that are definite. I'm assuming you guys can figure out for yourself which ones are the most definite transformations here, including there will be one for the older well, it's a different generation one. I don't want to watch it, but I will watch it just to get more transformations. If there's a transformation in there I know there's two characters in there that transform and stuff, so I will probably use those guys as well. Some characters will probably also get transformations. One of them most definitely will be happening is Vengon. Anyone who thought Vengon will not be chosen, he is chosen. But obviously, I think you guys can assume which one of these which one of these powers will obviously not get into the power system that I'll be using. Again, one-off characters, but there are some that are just most definite for other reasons. Oh yeah, and also no vehicles. I will not be using vehicles because how much he does use vehicles, that's not more of a transformation, that's more of him just getting a vehicle equipment. So yeah, for those reasons, I'm not using it. I actually have plans to watch this show. Reason why I have plans to watch it. Easy, and it is actually very simple. The reason why I have plans to watch this one is strictly just because of one particular thing and one particular thing only. It seems like this is about superhero. It's basically if you grabbed Yu-Gi-Oh, fused it with superheroes, and then mashed it together, you get this thing. And I find it interesting. I find it pretty interesting and pretty subpar. And again, the reason why I say it seems like it's Yu-Gi-Oh, because it seems like you use comic books of the superheroes and then you summon them like you do with Yu-Gi-Oh. The only difference is that you're not getting spell cards, trap cards, or any other summoning methods. You are just summoning superheroes from cards, and they're basically a part of your superhero deck entry. What I find incredibly funny and incredibly cool, I love the concept of that. Some of the characters here, like even looking at some of the characters, like I'm gonna zoom in. Like this guy, I don't even know, I have never watched this show a day in my life. It seemed way too weird for me to watch, but I have plans to watch it. It seemed like this guy has like water jet eyes. This girl has probably the power of a panther or something. I've seen this guy through some clips I get, because I do get some notice about this character. Seems like this guy just has the power to duplicate itself. I'm assuming this girl has the power of candy, and this is her candy creation. That's what I'm assuming from that one. I can't believe I freaking missed this fucking poodle man. A boxer, I'm kind of interested to see her. This mummy woman, she seems interesting. And a person who looks like he's an entire ripoff of the Green Dragon Power Rangers from the olden days. Like, God, Jesus. We got some robots, and then we got a man who's a coin. So obviously, power systems here are going to be really weird, and that's probably going to be an entire hero century or villain century, depending on what role they play in the thing and how I see them in a role. I may make them a villain regardless, just because I think the power would fit a villain than a hero. Another one that I am considering, Lab Rats. I love Lab Rats. I actually finished watching the thing about like sex, or I think it was like 20 days ago actually. So I finished watching it 20 days ago. And I loved it. And again, I say I finished it, but again, I didn't watch it completely, just because when I was watching it, a lot of the episodes were gone and they were missing, and it was just frustrating me because some of the stories actually piles on to the rest of the storyline, and so it was just pissing me the fuck off. So I was like, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm done. But I have finished the show once before when it was fully complete. Anyone who wants to watch it on Netflix, just be warned, most of the episodes are fucking gone. They have some of them gone. I don't know why they're missing, but they're just not there no more. I don't know why. I'm confused about it myself. But if I did, it would be complete powers. So basically, I would be adding from the powers of Adam, Bree, and Chase as different people. Uh, I would be doing the powers of Marcus, who would be probably my most favorite character to do. If I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Some powers I would give a bypass to the rebels, like that were just because there was three. There was one who had incredible powers, and I just want to put all three because I want to make superheroes that were heroes, but then they turned into villains. I don't have that in my universe just yet, and I think I need that just to make some more adversity in my universe, just a little bit. Certain characters may get powers. Bob, most likely, he does have the power to levitate. So that is something new. And again, I will be picking people who have new powers. So that means people who don't get any speaking or screen time, or basically one-off screen time, and have powers that I've barely used or used one time, and I will be using those powers again, giving an add-on to the powers that are there. Obviously, so again, that means villains will be villains, super villains will be super villains, and we will have a whole entire lineup of other stuff. Davenport and like Mr. Davenport and the other, I always forget the guy with the spiky hair. I always forget his name. They will not be in here because they do not have any powers. And again, this is about Bionic Heroes, but I will be saying these are superpowers. These are based off of superpowers, so it's not that hard. Leo is my most favorite, and if any possibility, I may do a redesign of his suit. Well, I say redesign is more of me keeping his suit the way it is and me giving him a helmet because I'm not gonna lie. I think his suit would be a lot cooler if he had a helmet. Not saying because I think he's ugly. No, it's because I think with the hoodie, I have such a fondness with hoodie clothing. Like hoodie superhero clothing. Like it's a superhero suit and it has a hoodie attached to it. And if you have a helmet, I'm just like, oh my god, this is awesome. This is everything I love. If you guys are wondering why Crimson Thunder doesn't have that, I don't know. I can't answer that question even if I wanted to. Also, again, this episode is being parton. Well, not parton, it's being not a part of it at all. Because it's the bondment of superheroes and superpowers. Yes, I know I can use these, but this would be an entirely different episode. This is like completely different. Because it's a different form, it's a different thing. It's like the only thing that I would have to bring from this is the fact that Bree gets superpowers in the show. Anyone who hasn't known that, the show's been out for a very long period of time. So I'm gonna say this. It is a spoiler, but this show's been out for a very long period of time. So you haven't watched it, that means you have no desire to watch it at all. I would still advise to watch this show. I think it's pretty good and everything. Please do not watch the people who comment on the show. I am being strictly serious. Watch it before you watch them. I watched one for 5 minutes. I think I have a TikTok short that I will probably upload at one point where I was listening to this guy talk and he was just getting on the nitty-gritty parts that basically was just them having funny jokes and trying to make more humor and not all seriousness. I would say they kind of went a little bit too far in it, but that's just my opinion. But again, and this goes for everything. If you guys want to watch something, do not watch people's reaction to the thing firsthand. I would advise you guys to go into it, watch 5 or 10 episodes at least before watching one of their videos. Just saying, you guys don't have to listen to me. Just say. Now, obviously, because I put in Flex Fighters, Raising Dion is another episode that should have got another episode, but they didn't give it, and I am mad as hell. I love Raising Dion. Raising Dion was such a good superhero episode. Like, probably 10 out of 10, and again, it seems like this era of superhero making is doesn't they don't care about making good superheroes anymore, because we have had two good superhero episodes that got removed for whatever reason there is, most likely because of money. And it seems like now money is now the bigger factor in the shows than anything else. So now it's like, oh, if they're not selling through toys and everything else, and not through money, and not through, and the ratings are not going up, we gotta scrap it. And by the way, I was born in 2003, so I was born in the era where basically shows plummeted. I'm gonna be honest with you. We had kids shows that plummeted so far, and they still kept on going. And because it kept on going, they were climbing back up. Like, and it doesn't seem like we have that anymore, and it's fucking annoying. It's irritating. It frustrates me to my soul, because the fact is that Raising Dion was such a good show, and the fact that I do wish to see like Dion and everything. And again, there were certain, but again, I have done some deep research on this for a long time now, and apparently there were some other issues that were the reason why they said, okay, we're kind of done with the show at this point. Like, there's not going to be a season 3. And the reason, and I'll say the reasons why right now. Apparently, the reason why is because, one, how long it took them to get season 2 out. How long it took them to take season 2. Dion was. The massive joke has gone on. Is dead now, but the massive joke that was going on in the. Giving Dion a fucking beard, what was hilarious, by the way, is that Dion was looking almost like a full-grown adult, but not true. He was more likely a teenager than anything else, or coming up to teenagerhood at the time. And how long it took to get this episode out and everything. Like, it took them a long time just to get season 2. And so, like, okay, we cannot wait this long just to do a season 3, because at this point, he may be a full-grown man at this point, or an old man. We ain't doing this. I'm sorry, we gotta cut it. Also, budgeting. Budgeting, as always, like I said, budgeting was a giant portion of it. Viewings was probably a portion of it too. How much people there were, still a giant fan base. I think we still have a giant fan base when it comes to Raising Dion. But at the end of the day, I want to use these powers, and if I do use it, the only way I would see to use this as a power set is, again, taking individual powers. Obviously, Dion, since he's the main character, all his powers will be intact. Again, I'll just have to add something to his repertoire powers. A few characters, there will be, it seems like the kid was going to be a good guy, so we're going to put him in there as well. And honestly, I'm not gonna put his triangle of friends, not because I hate them. I think that's pretty cool. It's just because they don't have anything unique, they haven't had any abilities, and also they don't really have anything that screams out a superpower. And for anyone who even thinks about telling me about her saying the line about her being invisible, she is saying that people treat her invisible because people do not care about her. Basically, when someone doesn't care about someone, they will treat them like they do not exist. It's rude, it's cruel, and anyone who does it, trust me, I do not support you in any way, shape, or form, because at the end of the day, I do not think that's okay for anyone to treat someone. That's what she meant. I know what she meant because I have been treated like that, and I was so happy to hear. Like, it's like when you hear someone say something that you felt before, it makes you feel good about yourself, because like someone knows how I feel. How much is a show? But trust me, sometimes it's the smallest things that connects you to a character that will become your favorite thing in the show. Obviously, we will have a lot of fucking characters. There are, other than Pat, in counting from season 2, there's like damn. Well, adding Dion, the Crooked Man, that girl that had the atomizing powers. Fuck, that's fucking 4 characters. That's like legitimately that's 4 characters. That's not. Wait, hold up. No, wait. Before anyone comments on the show, I just remember there was other people who did have powers that were in the show that Pat did kill. So we had a guy who controlled plants. Again, we had that kid who couldn't read minds. We have I think there is a girl who we see for 5 seconds who did have some form of fire powers, who did date Pat. Not her best choice, I'm not gonna lie. We do know that her sister had powers, but we don't know what her power was. I may skim through the episode itself just to see if there was anything that said what powers did certain people have. Obviously, that girl who had the power to shoot pink lightning, and I think it was purple. It was purple or pink or both. And the power to turn invisible, that's one. And also Dion's dad, that's another one. So we have like, it's basically a small bunch of characters. So it's not a giant leap of characters. Like for all the ones that I have plans to do, this would be the smallest one, and this would be one video. Like, I would not make this a separation video. This would just legitimately be one video. But yeah, so you guys know how I feel about this, and you guys now know the ones that I am considering, the ones that I am going to be doing, and how I would go about doing it if I did do it. If you guys have any power sets you guys would want me to use, like from We Can Be Heroes, or basically anything that has a significant power abilities that I can adapt and use and add to put inside my universe, please comment down below. I will do my deep and thorough research onto it if what I can find. And also if I do find it interesting enough for me to want to actually do it. I did think about doing Generator Rex. I'm not going to lie. I think I already talked about Generator Rex. Did I? No, I did not. I did not talk about Generator Rex. Generator Rex is a possibility. I don't know if I will, because Rex would be a whole power system. Like, Rex would be an entire different power ability. And then the other abilities would be separated, so I would have to learn what they could have done. Since I kind of lost my memory a little bit about what happened in that show, because I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I know he has a few friends that have powers. And I know there's a few people who are Evos that have complete control over their abilities. So that may happen. We have the Villain Society. So we may do that. We may have power systems. We may have abilities. I don't know if I'll do it or not. I'm thinking about it. Don't know if I will. But again, comment down below. See you guys later. And subscribe if you guys thought this video was interesting or somewhat fun. And Crimson Thunder out.